So today's plan is to test out the charging of the Ionity charger. Now you obviously seen me charge the Ionity charger before, I do it quite regularly, and at the moment I'm using the free charging they gave out at Fully Charged Live, so it's even better to charge there. But what I wanted to charge today to try was charging from 88% to see how slow that charge actually is. Now I would charge from 90%, but I mistimed it slightly, so it's going to be 88%, roughly around the 90% mark. Now we know that charging from 90% on most vehicles is incredibly slow, certainly on Teslas and the like. But 90% on a iPace isn't really, on an iPace I should say, isn't really 90%. It's more like, well, we know that we've been restricted, so it's more like 80%. 78. I'll do the maths actually, I'll put it up on the screen. Anyway, we're nearly there. So also the other thing I wanted to talk about was the repair on my car. So it's been in for the estimate and what's going on there? It's been in for the estimate and they've ordered the parts and they're due in this week sometime to be sorted out. Now, I haven't actually seen the official estimate, but I did get an idea on the parts cost, and we're talking nearly £1,600 worth of parts to do that small repair at the back. And this is primarily because they're going to have to replace the bumper and replace the air spoiler. So yeah, not cheap at all for something which I still think was caused by the reversing camera, but never mind. So actually on that note, there was a notification on the systems this week, on the stuff which actually goes out to the dealers, that there's going to be a new 19A update which actually has a fix for what they talk about problems with the reversing camera when switching rapidly between drive and reverse. Now I'm not sure that's actually what I did, but I was manoeuvring, so I would have been going between reverse and drive. I don't think I did it particularly rapidly, but maybe that's the case. Anyway, it's nice to see a fix coming out for the reversing cameras. I've tried to do a software update, I haven't seen it yet. I'm wondering if I'll get it when I take my car in for its recall. Now I haven't actually had the recall notice yet, but I do know mine's in the range which is on the recall. I suspect they've sent the recall letter to the contract hire company. Makes sense. The car's actually technically owned by the contract hire company. That's who would be registered keeper from the point of view of recall, but they haven't actually sent it to me yet. Okay, so I'm reversing into this Ionity charger. Let's see how we get. I don't know if you can see behind me. Actually, see it's quite an interesting layout of cables today. They've been left dragged all over the floor. But we'll see how we get on. Okay. So I'm just about in there, that's perfect, and we should be able to. Now you may wonder why you don't get those in, but the cables here are actually pretty long and I actually feel more comfortable being able to look out what's in front of me when I'm sitting in the car. So there you go. Anyway, I'm back miles away from the post. That's what I thought it was last time though, so but this time I generally am miles away from the post. So let's head out and actually charge the car. So this is our starting percentage. We've got 162 miles range, 87%. I've been pushing it a little bit lately, so it's lots of little short runs on fast road, so that's why it's down a bit on range, but not too bad normally. Anyway, I'm going to charge it up now and we'll see how we get on. So this is the Ionity charger. It's a ABB charger, it's one of the older ones, and to start it up I'm going to use this lovely free charging card they gave. And if you want to use the free charging card, you need to tap on this bit. So I'm going to tap the screen first, say I want CCS. Now they actually tell you to connect the cable at this point. So I'm going to take the CCS cable, walk this way, and this is difficult when I'm holding the camera, but I'm just going to push it open. Okay, so I've removed the plat and I can put the new charger in now. It's done. Okay, so we've got connect OK, so we'll hit start, and that's going to tell me how long to pay. So I'm going to use an RFID card. Now, that's not very helpful, the little logo on there, because it makes it look like you need to tap it across the payment bit down a bit here. But that doesn't work. What you actually need to do is put it against this blank piece here. And there we go, we're allowed to start charging, which is excellent. So let's see if it connects. So you just click in whirring, and there we go. So 87%, and we are 4 minutes in. Let's come back in 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm back at the charger, and you can see it's fast approaching 15 minutes, and we're up to 93%, which is not the fastest charge in the world. We've had 5.9 kilowatt hours delivered in 15 minutes, so let's call that 6 kilowatt hours delivered in 15 minutes. We can work the maths out on that. But yeah, it's slow, not as slow as some people would be, go charge for 90%, but it's definitely not worth really charging on a fast charge of 90 to 100%. It's going to take you a while. It's here saying 35 minutes to do that 10%. This is a 50 kilowatt charger. Yeah, not brilliant, but if you're in an emergency, I guess you'd do it. You can really hear the charger working incredibly hard at the moment. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. I'll stop charging, and yeah, we'll try another charger somewhere else in a little while. Well, you join me looking somewhat windswept. It's just blowing a gale outside and thunder and lightning and everything. But anyway, never mind. So one of the requests I keep getting is to show you the mapping system on the car. So let's have a quick look at that. So the options are slightly different when you haven't set a route. Let's go into that now. And you see we just get traffic, compass and battery range, and they appear on the left hand side, and the battery range is like a map with a circle on it showing how far you could actually get with the amount of battery you've currently got. Obviously satellite works in this mode as well, so you can plan your route using satellite. Let's have a look at what that looks like. As you can see, I've got quite a dense satellite view here. It still scrolls pretty well. Can zoom right out of the way out, zoom in, plan a trip over to Wales, and all that sort of thing. What I have noticed also is that it actually updates pretty well when you're driving. Obviously, as I'm using data all the time, so I don't use it in satellite view. I know some people like it, but I'm actually quite happy with the normal view. So let's go back to normal view, 3D, which is the one I tend to use. Go back to that. Quite happy with that. Anyway, that's really the satellite view. So today's plan is to try charging from 81% at a Polar charger. We're over at the Holiday Inn, and we'll see if this one's actually going to work. I've got a Polar card. It's a subscription, Polar Plus. Pay a certain amount of money a month, which I'll put up on the screen because I can't remember what it is at the moment. And then you get some chargers are free, some chargers just have a connection charge. This one just has a small connection charge, which is quite reasonable. Now, this one hasn't actually been working very well recently, so I'm going to see if it's working today. And that's all good, so we can actually connect the vehicle this time. So we just need the CCS, which is over this side. I always get confused, and plug in, and normally these are pretty straightforward. Clicking away. So we're going to try a 15-minute charge again. I'm just going to pop in and have a quick cup of coffee, and we'll see how much charge we had in that time. Got half a kilowatt hour already. So I'm actually looking at the charging as it's going on the WhatCat app. Now this is the app I've mentioned in the last coverage from Fully Charged Live. It's written by a gentleman called RDevD, who's on the iPace forums. I think he's from Norway. I apologise if I got that wrong. Yeah, it's really good. It updates very quickly. In fact, it's updating here way quicker than the normal app I would use, the Jaguar remote control app. It's pretty cool. You log in using your normal password you use for the normal app, the remote app, and then it gives you all this information, tyre pressures, and you can see it refreshes quite regularly as well, which is really rather good. Yeah, I like this a lot. So yes, just go this quick tour on it. It tells you if you're charging at the top, whether you're parked, whether you're locked. It doesn't allow you to lock the car like the current app, but yeah, I'm sure that will come. He's adding features all the time. Down the bottom you can see the charge state, how long we've got left to charge, the current range. You can set a departure time, you can turn the climate control on and off, everything you could possibly want. So I'm just going to stop charging because there's someone else waiting here, but we've done here's the 18 minutes and done 8.9 kilowatts. We'll do the maths on that. Yeah, so you can see it you don't get much charge when you get up to these high-end ranges. It would take about another half hour to actually charge all the way to 100%. Yeah, I actually stopped there because there was a guy in an e-Golf who needed to get on his journey. Obviously much less range on the e-Golf, but he seems to get on well with it, so that's good. And chatting away with a couple of other people here about range and how long these things to charge and some of the myths of electric charging. Yes, you can charge it in the rain. Yes, you can drive it to Bruges and back. It's fine. It's all good stuff. Anyway, I'm hoping to try a different type of charger sometime over this weekend, and if I get a chance, I'll put it in next. Yeah, I'll fill you in when I get to where I'm going. So, as you can see, we've made it to Milton Keynes. This is the Ionity chargers in Milton Keynes. Over there, where we look, is the Polar charging hub, which is very good with the solar panels on it, and then the Ionity ones here. Quite a narrow entrance into here, quite narrow spaces I found, and obviously the cables are quite short, so you have to make sure the noses are quite tight as well. But I'm going to see if I can start this off. It says £8 per charging session. I cannot see this at all. Please insert the plug into the vehicle, so let's try that. Nice, very thick cable. So you can see there's a very, very tight cables. It's very difficult to get them into the cable. That's going in. Let's see if it starts charging. And I'll head back over and see if it starts charging. It's connect OK, so let's start. So, smartphone. Use your mobility provider app to authenticate or scan the QR code. So let's do that. We're just going to do that now. I've got the Ionity app on there, and I don't know if you know which one I'm actually on. It's very difficult to see out here at the moment, it's so bright. As I said before, that Polar charger's got an advantage because it's actually got a shelter over the top of it. I can't see my screen enough to actually see where the Ionity app is. That's one disadvantage of doing it by app. Be probably easier with a touch card, but I haven't got an Ionity. Oh, so let's scan the QR code. It says, where's the QR code? I'm not sure I'm actually going to be able to see this, but well, I can't see the QR code, so I don't know if my camera can. Oh, got it. And we'll hit charge now. Yep, we're going to do £8 flat charging. So it's going off to start charging. You selected, and we are going to use the PayPal payment method. So it's very difficult to see the screen. I'm not entirely sure what it's doing now. Connect OK. Start. Oh, I think I've authenticated it. Oh, it's now wants me to log into my PayPal. So it's preparing to charge, setting up communication with the car, it's burst into life, and we are charging. So if we can get, I'll see if I can get close up to that with this camera, because I don't think we're going to get it with the main camera. 56, so half a kilowatt hour delivered in less than a minute. 0.71 kilowatt hours delivered. So in a minute we've had 0.86 kilowatt hours delivered. So we can do the maths on that. So we're going to leave it for 15 minutes or so and come back and see how much we get. So quite interestingly, it's saying that we've got 70% charge at the moment, 100,000 miles, and to do the final 30%, it's saying it'll take 56 minutes, which still seems quite a low rate of charge, but that's probably because of the state of charge we're starting at 70%. Obviously this would be better if we were charging from a lower state of charge. Still, quite impressive. So while you're charging, you can use the facilities in the bus station. It's got a cafe, which is quite good, actually reasonably cheap, and seating area. Not quiet as the places, a bit like a motorway services, but not too bad. Really can't complain around here for charges. There's just behind me you can see there's a charge master outside, and then again over that direction there's the actual polar network, which is really easy to see. I mean, one of the great things about coming up here is you can spot those solar covers, whatever you want to call it, from miles away. It's one of the real difficulties usually with chargers, actually finding them, and that certainly wasn't a problem here. Well, that's pretty impressive. We're doing quite well here. So in approximately 23 minutes we've reached 89%. I think it will probably be 25 minutes, we'll be at 90%, and I'll probably head off then. So let's have a look at these polar chargers. I think these are just standard 50 kilowatt chargers. There's plenty of them, that's for certain. Not going to run out for now. I mean, in a few years' time we'll probably find all of these in use. Maybe probably loads of Tesla Model 3s in a few weeks' time, I suspect. But these are all the standard polars I use. These all work with the iPace. It's not going to be a problem at all to set a charge and just tap the polar charge and away you go. And in some cases it may be better, certainly at the amount of charge I had when I arrived here, I might have actually been as well to get on the 50 kilowatt charger, because it would probably charge as quickly because of the, well, probably slightly slower, but it wouldn't have been too much of a difference and would have been somewhat cheaper than the Ionity. So that's one of the things you'll have to work out, whether it's worth you actually charging on the polars. I'm going to do a bit of maths and work out what the charge rate was for this charge, and I'll put it up on the screen. One of the best things about this charging station, it's got a bin. And that's one of the things which I'm always amazed how few chargers have got bins nearby. Paper cans, I guess that's paper. One of the things I don't like is there's nothing on here saying it's actually an EV charge bay. It just says Ionity, which isn't going to discourage anybody from parking a petrol car on top of it. Obviously here there's plenty of petrol parking, ICE parking around, so unlikely, but yeah, you'd hope they would actually put EV cars only or something similar, because we definitely have a problem with icing in this country. Okay, so we've just hit 90%. That's good enough for me. I'm going to stop the charge now. So there's a button down here to say stop. Okay, that appears to be stopping. We actually just hit 91%, so that's what we finished up with. 91%, 19.09 kilowatt hours delivered in 20 odd minutes. Anyway, that should be able to disconnect that charger now, so let's go and see if we can do that. Around here. It's a little bit tight because of how close you have to park to get your car in, and obviously we just need to unlock the car to free up the charge port, and it should come straight out, which it does. That is incredibly heavy compared to the normal polar ones.